Wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I want to tell about the Raden Ajeng Kartini. Or you know about Raden Ajeng Kartini? I think you all know about Raden Ajeng Kartini. She is our idol and our heroine. Do you agree if she is our idol? Well, let me begin the story. Raden Ayu Kartini, or sometimes known as Raden Ajeng Kartini, was a prominent of Javanese and an Indonesian heroine. Kartini was a pioneer in the area of a woman's right for Indonesian. She struggled to change the woman's world be like now. We should be proud to have figure like Kartini because she has been fighting for women's rights. She is different with the other hero because she not struggle with gun, but she struggle with her thing. Kartini is a great woman, smart, brave, and strong. She also has extensive knowledge and high social spirit. Kartini gives some example of that as women. We are also entitled to the same right as men, but Kartini not give us an example of inordinate. Kartini was born into aristocratic Japanese family when Java was part of the Dutch colony of Dutch East Indies. Kartini's father, Sosroningrat, became Regency chief of Jepara. Kartini's father was originally the district chief of Manyong. Then Kartini's mother, Nasira, was the daughter of Matirono and the teacher of religion in Teluwakur. She was his first wife, but not the most important one. At this time, polygamy was a common practice among the nobility. Colonial regulation required a regency chief to marry a member of the nobility. Since Nasira was not of sufficiently high nobility, Kartini's father married a second time to Wujan, a direct descendant of the Raja of Madura. After this second marriage, Kartini's father was elevated to Regency Chief of Jepang, replacing his second wife own father, Citro Wikromo. Kartini was the fifth child and second eldest daughter in a family of 11, including half siblings. She was born into the family with a strong intellectual tradition. Her grandfather, Pangeran Aryo Condronegoro IV, became a regency chief at the age of 25, while Kartini's older brother Sosro Kartono was an accomplished linguist. Kartini family allowed her to attend school until she was 12 years old. Just until 12 years old. Can you think that if you be Raden Ajeng Kartini, here among other subjects, she learned to speak Dutch, an unusual accomplishment for Japanese woman at that time. After she turned 12, she was secluded at home, a common practice among Japanese nobility, to prepare the young girl for their marriage. During seclusion, girls were not allowed to leave their parents' house until they were married, at which point authority over them was transferred to their husband. Kartini's father was more lenient than some during his daughter's seclusion, giving her such privilege as embroidery lesson and occasional appearance in public for special events. During her seclusion, Kartini was continued her educate herself on her own, just by herself, because she could speak Dutch. She had several pen friends. A girl named Rosa Abundant became her close friend. Books, newspaper, European magazine fit Kartini interest in European feminist thinking, and furthers the desire to improve the condition of indigenous Indonesian women, who at that time had a very low social status. But we need to underline that Kartini just imitate the way they think and not their style. Kartini like the way they are respond to things. Kartini concerns were not only in the area of the emancipation of women, but also other problems of her society. Kartini saw that the struggle for women obtain their freedom, autonomy, and legal equality was just part of a wider movement. Kartini's parents arranged her marriage to Coyotiningrat, the Regency chief of Rembang, who already had 3 wives. She was married on the 12th November 1903. This was against Kartini's wishes, but she acquiesced to appease her ailing father. Her husband understood Kartini's aim and allowed her to establish a school for women in its part of the Rembang Regency office complex. Kartini's only son was born on 13 September 1904. A few days later, on 17 September 1904, Kartini died at the age of 25. She was buried in Bulu village, Rembang. We can take a lesson that as a woman as well as Kartini, we as woman would risk his life to give birth to our children later. That's the destiny for each woman. And we know how much sacrifice our mother gave birth to our first time to the world. Inspired by Raden Ajeng Kartini example, the fund defender established the Raden Ajeng Kartini Foundation, which built school for women. Kartini School in Semarang in 1912, followed by other women's school in Surabaya, Yogyakarta, Malang, Madiun, Cirebon, and the others area. After Raden Ajeng Kartini died, Mr. Apendanon, the Minister of Culture, Religion and Industry in the East Indies, collected and published the letter that Kartini had sent to her friend in Europe. The book was titled Twisternis tot Lids, or Out of Dark Come Light, and was published in 1911. It went through 5 editions, with some additional letters included in the final edition. In 1964, President Soekarno declared Raden Ajeng Kartini birthday 21st April as Kartini Days, an Indonesian national holiday. In contrast, those who recognized the significance of Raden Ajeng Kartini argued that not only was she a feminine who elevated the status of women in Indonesia, she was also a nationalist figure with new ideas would struggle on behalf of her people, including her in the national struggle for independence. As we already know that Kartini is a very famous and important person for us as women. Because of her we can get the same independence with the men. Let's move the new Kartini. Let's move the Indonesian woman. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you for attention. Assalamualaikum